Docking, or cutting off a dog's tail, usually at birth and for aesthetic purposes, is something that's illegal in the EU, which most people seem to applaud because they agree that it's animal cruelty. Yet it's still something that's legal in a lot of other parts of the world, and even here it is not that uncommon to hear people say that they want a Doberman with a docked tail. In both the for and against docking camps, there's a lot of discussion about just why it is so bad, if it actually hurts the dog. Some people even say it's good for a dog, especially if it's a working dog, it's safer. And the people against docking usually pick an almost philosophical stand, like it doesn't matter, it's just animal cruelty, you should leave a dog as it is. Both camps seem to look at the physical aspect of it, but even more important and often overlooked is the social aspect. And to get into that, we should talk a bit about dog language. There are different types of communication that we're all familiar with. There's verbal communication, there's body language, but communication goes way further than that. There's also communication through touch or through smell, but for us the most important ones are verbal, followed by physical or body language. For dogs that whole ranking is different. Most people seem to know that body language is more important than verbal language to dogs, but what they don't know is just how important communication through smell is. After all, when a puppy is born, it is born both deaf and blind, but it can smell immediately, and it is through smell that the mother dog lures the pups towards her nipple to eat, warns them for danger, or calm them down. Only after a couple of weeks, when their eyes start to open, they start to communicate in different ways as well. But smell will always be the most important or the second most important, just after body language. So how do dogs communicate through smell? So I just gave the example of the mother dog releasing pheromones to communicate with the newborn pups. Another way that all dogs communicate is by wagging their tail. Tail wagging has nothing to do with body language, but has everything to do with smell. So how it works is that in a dog's butt there are two anal glands. In those anal glands there's a liquid. That liquid has a strong smell, at least strong for dogs, luckily not to us. That smell is unique to each dog. Ever wonder why dogs sniff each other's butts when they greet each other? It is to get that smell. That is so important to dogs that even if they meet a dog that they already know in a new context, they generally will still have to sniff each other's butt just to be sure. That's how important this is. So, tail wagging. A lot of people seem to think a dog that wags their tail is a happy dog. But it's not that easy. Sure, a wagging tail can be a sign of happiness, but it all depends on how the dog wags their tail. A dog that is happy generally wags very wide but slow, and what that does is it actually disperses the scent from those anal glands all over the place. The dog couldn't care less who sees him. He's happy and everyone may know. Whereas a stressed dog will also wag their tail, but generally way faster and not as wide. This actually concentrates the smell, but doesn't spread it as much. Meaning that if another dog approaches a dog that is wagging their tail like that, they will smell that the dog is stressed, and usually they should back off because they know they may risk getting bitten otherwise. And now you may also realize why a dog puts their tail between their legs when they are scared. Again, nothing to do with body language. It's closing off the butt, literally trying to hide, making sure that that smell does not spread so that other dogs can't smell where he is. Now there are some studies done that go way more in depth about tail wagging, where they look at left-sided tail wagging versus right-sided tail wagging, and I've read those papers. Obviously there's some truth to that, but I don't think that will ever matter for the general dog owner or even trainer. The basics are what I just told you about: wide for happy dog, short but fast for a stressed out dog, scared dog, put it between their legs. There's also a difference between breeds. Obviously you have curly-tailed dogs or dogs that naturally have their tail between their legs. Since that's an aspect of the breed, generally they have learned to deal with that in other ways. But notice how most dog breeds with a curled up tail are known as difficult breeds. This is because they cannot communicate as effectively with other dogs. It's not because it's an antisocial dog, it's because it's a dog that's misunderstood more easily by other dogs. And that's also what docking your dog's tail does. Let's take the example I just told you about. Let's say I have a dog Doberman. Another dog approaches. My dog is a bit stressed, wants to wag their tail to signal to the other dog, hey, don't get too close, I'm a bit scared. The other dog doesn't know because he cannot smell, gets too close, your dog attacks, and now people say you have an aggressive dog. But it's you who decided to cut off what is essentially his tongue. He tried his best to tell the other dog and to warn him, but he couldn't because you decided to dog the tail. So yes, most dogs with a dog tail are more antisocial, because this is something that's been happening from the start. From the moment your dog's a pup, a lot of dogs are stressed when they meet someone new, and so it's a natural reaction, but the other dog notices, works around it, and over time they can get to know each other, which is something that a dog without a tail cannot do. He is doomed to have bad socialization from the start, and it takes a lot of effort, or an especially happy and confident dog, to not have issues with that. Another argument I hear people say is that, well, my dog's a working dog, he doesn't need to socialize. That's the biggest bullshit a dog owner can say. Almost every breed is a working breed. All those dogs are working dogs. That doesn't mean that they don't need to socialize with other dogs. Just let them still be dogs. They're not machines. And socialization is so important for your dog's happiness. So, whenever you see someone, discuss docking tails, send them this video, or tell them about the importance of tail wagging. Because it doesn't matter if they're for or against docking tails, I bet generally they won't even know about the social aspect, which I believe is the most important part of it. To end on a happy note, let me get my dog and prove to you that body language is more important than whatever we say. I will ask her to sit, but I will give her the physical cue to lie down. Let's see what she does, shall we? So, let me call her. Luckily, she's waiting just outside the door. Eowyn, come. Hey. So this is Eowyn. I will ask her to go sit. I will give the physical cue to lie down. Let's see what she does. Eowyn, zit. So as you could see, there was a bit of hesitancy, but she did lie down. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, do all that stuff. If you have any question, whether it's about tail docking or anything else that's dog related that you want to hear about in a future video, leave it down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.